kind of, sort of, but everything's done. So I wanted to get up and share this important message with you guys. Okay, so as you can, please do subscribe, like, and share, and leave a comment. If you need to reach me, do so by email. All in, just the letter N, Acaline without the E lifestyle, one word at gmail.com. Okay, guys, it says 4 reasons why coworkers are not friends. But I use this right here, guys, instead of using be careful who you befriend at work, because it will be within my message. And as I shared with you guys once, if you would like to get to know me better, it's on a live with my career with Bank of America. And the reason why I chose that is because there's a skit in there that I wrote. You're bringing me down, meaning like when you walk on the job that you were assigned to, you coming in there to do a duty, or you entering into the workplace, the workforce, whether it's corporate, state, regular, however, a job is a job, and you got hired for that job. So that's what you to do when you get on that job, is to work. You don't bash the company that you work with, not ever, to anybody at work, meaning your coworkers, or online social media, now that this is in full effect. Okay, so I think this is a big part of the problem right here, guys, because of social media. People don't know how to reach somebody to call them to vent out things, so they kind of online, and it gets them into lots of trouble. But you have to show up for your attendance when you're scheduled to work. You have to show up on time. So let's see what this little skit right here has to say about it. But it's really major, guys, in the workforce, and a lot of people are going through this because you're taking your personal business inside of the workplace. You have happy people that work, you have unhappy. So all in water don't mix. So it's easily for a person to become jealous or intimidated, or I don't know, just angry or hateful towards you, just for a reason that they're not self confident or self worthy of knowing within themselves that they have what it takes, just like you do. So let's just get started, guys, on this for one moment, okay? And it won't be long.
The one who knows about your weekend plans, the one who vents with you about your manager in the parking lot. That person will not have your back when it actually counts. I know that sounds harsh, and I know it goes against the way most people want to think about their workplace, but it's one of the most consistent patterns in corporate life, and almost nobody talks about it openly until they've already been burned by it. Workplace friendships look like real friendships. They feel like real friendships. But the moment something is at stake, your reputation, a promotion, a serious complaint, a lawsuit, the relationship reveals what it actually was the entire time. And by then, it is way too late to protect yourself, because the things you said when you trusted the wrong person are already out there. I'm Dre, and on this channel,
I was always taught, when you go to work, first of all, show up 15 minutes ahead of time. So I'm good on that. And to mind my own business. And this came out of my mother's mouth. And she instilled, embedded that into us. And it's okay. And it has to do lots with me, guys, having a huge family. I don't have to look into the workplace to find friends. I rarely probably want friends out of my own family. Nah, just kidding. Just kidding, guys. But there's enough of us to go around for me to have 5 best friends, or maybe 10 out of my whole family if I so choose to. Let's continue.
channel, we talk about how the workplace actually works underneath the polite version everyone pretends to believe. So today, I'm breaking down the 4 reasons your coworkers are not your friends. And stick with me until the very end, because the fourth one
And I must say, guys, it's not that your coworkers are not your friends, because I was more than a friend to my coworkers. But everybody's different, and you are going to find very few. And it's because it entails whether or not if you're a leader or a follower. I'm a leader. Pardon me, a leader. So therefore, I never had any issues. I never threw my weight around. It was no reason to, as long as I can get my job done. And also at the same time, if I could help you, I would help you as well. Let's continue.
One is the most important. It's the one most people only learn the hard way, usually after they've already trusted the wrong person with the wrong information. And by then, there's nothing they can do to take it back. Let's start. The first reason your coworkers are not your friends is that workplace relationships are situational, not chosen. Think about every other friendship.
There's a difference. You get it, guys? Situational, not chosen. Let that sink in. Critical thinking. Let's continue.
In your life. You picked those people. You met them, you liked something about them, and over time, you decided to keep them around. There was selection involved. There was intent. Workplace relationships are the exact opposite. You did not pick the person sitting next to you. Your employer picked them. The team you got assigned to, the project you got pulled into, the desk arrangement, the shift schedule, the open positions during the year you have.
Guys, I want to say this, all of that takes place, all of that intertwines when you get hired for the job. Okay, where we're going to place this person, who we're going to place this person by. Are they quiet? Well, let's not set them by Dave because he's quiet. Because what they're looking for, guys, is diversity. Diversity, analytical thinking, critical thinking is a big, big part. Let's continue. And let's not forget attitude.
Happen to be hired, all of that decided who you spend 40 hours a week with. The relationships that grow out of that environment are not friendships in the traditional sense. They are proximity bonds. And proximity bonds dissolve the moment proximity ends. Watch what happens when someone leaves a job. For about 2 weeks, there are texts and we should grab a drink messages, and then it goes quiet. A month later, the contact list goes untouched. A year later, you'd struggle to remember half of their birthdays. That is not because anyone was fake. It's because the bond was never built on what real friendships are built on. It was built on shared inconvenience. The same fluorescent lights, the same annoying client, the same bad coffee, the same internal politics. Take that shared environment away, and there's nothing structural holding the relationship together. This matters because most people emotionally treat their coworkers as if these are deep, lasting bonds. They confide things, they vent, they overshare. They assume loyalty exists because it feels like it should exist. It doesn't. Foundation, situational, not chosen, is the basis for everything else in this video. So keep it in your head as we move forward, because the next three reasons all flow directly from it. The second reason your coworkers are not your friends is that the moment HR starts asking questions, your coworkers are not thinking about you. They are thinking about themselves. And honestly, if you swap places with them, you would probably do the exact same thing. People go to work to get.
Probably not. Everybody's not the same. But if you're asking to be direct, if questionable, you just have to do the right thing when it comes to that. Let's continue.
Paid. The friendships are a side effect, not the point. So the moment HR opens an investigation, opens a file, or pulls coworkers into a conference room one by one, a very specific instinct kicks in: self-preservation. And self-preservation does not look like solidarity. It looks like sudden memory loss. It looks like I don't really want to get involved. It looks like vague answers, hedged statements, and shrugs. Picture the situation. You finally report something that's been happening to you. Maybe it's a manager who's been pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable. Maybe it's a pattern of being treated differently from others on your team. You take the risk. You go to HR. You walk through what's been going on. And in your head, you're already counting the people who've witnessed this stuff with you. You assume those people will tell HR what they saw. You assume they're in your corner. They're not. Or more accurately, they might be in your corner.
Guys, I would like to stop it for a moment here, momentarily. Now, if HR gets involved, it has to be something really critical, in my opinion, such as sexual harassment, things of that nature, like very, very far fetched. Because I've never been on any federal corporate job where I was called to HR only for two things, and well, twice, and I'll tell you why. Because when you're on any federal corporate job, if you lose a coworker, they have therapists and all that come out on job site to help you through that. But that was the only thing. If you needed to leave for that day, if you couldn't handle it, then they will give you pay off and you get to leave for the rest of the day because you've lost your coworker. But as far as being called in the office for HR to be questioned about anything, oh, I just remembered something, guys. Yes, I did. Okay, okay. When I worked at Bank of America, long story short, I was in Premier Banking. There was this guy, I think he worked on maintenance or something, but he would leave me roses, chocolate. I mean, he just leave. At first, I thought it was just a nice gesture because we had to come in through security. Premier Banking is millionaire up. That's what Premier Banking is, okay? Now, he would leave gifts and things at my desk, but like I said, I had to come in through security. So he was like everybody's friend. I forget what nationality he was. I think like Middle Eastern, something like that. But he was a very nice guy. I didn't take it anything personal until he just kept doing it. So and my coworkers was like, that doesn't look right. Something's off. You have to report that. I was already thinking it. As I said, I'm a leader. But so I took the initiative and I had to report it to HR. So that's the only time I had to deal with that. And I felt really, really bad because I know it was just innocent. It probably could have, who knows, could have turned into something worse. I don't know. But I think he even lost his job behind it. And it's nothing I did wrong. I just had to use protocol. But let's continue.
Corner emotionally, but the second they sit across from an HR investigator, they get very strategic very fast. Saying anything that supports you means putting a target on their own back. It means being seen by leadership as someone who creates problems for the company. It means risking their next review, their next raise, their next promotion. So they go quiet. Or worse, they tilt their answers slightly toward whatever protects the company, because that's where their paychecks come from. This is not betrayal in their minds, it's survival. It just feels like betrayal to the person standing alone in the middle of it. The third reason your coworkers are not your friends is competition. Every workplace is a low grade.
One moment, guys. Competition. Why does competition have to be about everything? I'm not a competitive person because I have enough faith in myself or enough self worth to know that I can do anything that you can do. Like, I look at you, you know better than me. You look at me, I'm no better than you. True story. It's just how much one is willing to give. Guys, look what I'm eating this time of night: a crab cake with some coleslaw, guys. I wasn't really hungry, but let's continue.
Low grade competition underneath the surface, even when nobody admits it out loud. There are a limited number of promotions. There are a limited number of high visibility projects. There is a limited budget for raises and bonuses. Everyone is technically running the same race for the same resources, even when they're smiling at each other in the hallway. And competition is corrosive to friendship in ways most people refuse to see clearly. You can be genuinely warm with someone and still be in direct competition with them for the same role. You can grab lunch with someone every Thursday and still be quietly compared to them by the same manager every quarter. The workplace forces this dynamic. It's structural. It's baked into how performance reviews work, how budgets get allocated, how careers move forward. So when you tell a coworker something in confidence, that you're frustrated with leadership, that you're thinking about leaving, that you struggled with a recent project, that you have a health issue or a family situation affecting your work, you are quietly giving them ammunition. Maybe they never use it. Plenty of people don't.
This is when you need to take it to HR, guys. Anything dealing with family, FMLA, maternal leave, or hardship leave, anything like that. If you report it to HR and not discuss it with your colleagues, that's the correct protocol. Let's continue.
But some absolutely will, especially when they're feeling pressure themselves, especially when something becomes available that you both want. Some AI builds a website for you, but Wix Harmony builds it
Sorry,
with you.
guys.
Okay, this is where you start. Basically, especially when looking better in front of leadership means making someone else look just a little worse. And here's the part that really stings. They might not even do it maliciously. They'll mention something offhand to a manager because it casually highlights that they're more reliable, more committed, more on top of things than you. The damage still gets done.
No, I think that's backbiting or backdooring people. I never did that either. I'm not just saying it because there's no need. I never went after a job or someone else's job. I was always offered the jobs, because of different situations. People get moved around. And this is what you guys have to understand too. And I can't express it enough that you have to be on time. Your attendance have to be up to par. My best educated motto that I can share with you guys that's gotten me to where I am today is just go in and give 110. Not 10%, not 20, just give 110. Because the reason I say 110 is because you go over that 100 thou, I mean percentile to the extra 10. So if you give an extra 10, there's no room for anybody to be complaining, right? Right. Not even your co-managers, your VPs, your supervisors, whatever you guys are under that you call them. So this is how that works. Let's continue.
This is why being strategic about what you share at work is not paranoia. It's basic self-protection. You can be friendly. You can be warm.
He's very, very right. I always tell you guys to be strategic and then strategize. Two simple things that will get you far, far in life. Because if you're being strategic, you're thinking on it. And then you get a chance to strategize, mean plan it out, and then put it into effect. Let's continue.
You can be a great teammate, but the things you would only tell a real friend, the doubts, the frustrations, the personal stuff, the plans, those don't belong in the office. They belong with people who are not financially incentivized to ever use that information against you. Now, the fourth reason, and this is the one I really want you to internalize, is what happens when you bring a legal claim against your employer. This is where the workplace friendship illusion breaks completely, and it's the situation that produces the most painful realizations in people's careers. Because by the time you're in this position, you can't undo any of the trust you've already given away. Here's the dynamic. If you ever end up in a real dispute with your employer, a discrimination claim, a wrongful termination case, a wage dispute, a retaliation complaint, the company is going to talk to your coworkers. Their statements can support.
Whether I want to tell you guys really fast, whether you know it or not, companies have their own lawyers. At least I know federal do. They have their own lawyers. So when you report anything like this, they already have their lawyers on hand. And then you'll just have to get one. Let's continue.
Support your case or destroy it. And almost always, The coworkers who are still actively employed at the company will not back you up. Some will go further than that. Some will actively support the company's version of events, even when they know it's not the full truth. There's a clean way to predict this, by the way, and it's worth knowing. The coworker who has already left the company is a completely different person than the coworker who still works there. Once they're gone, the leverage is gone. They might suddenly remember everything they witnessed, suddenly want to help, suddenly have a lot to say. But the coworker who is still on payroll, that person's loyalty is to the paycheck, not to you. And it's important to understand that this isn't because they're cool or fake. It's because the company is still feeding their family. They have rent. They have a kid in school. They have a mortgage. They have student loans. They are not going to torch a stable income to defend someone they used to grab coffee with. When they have to choose between you and their livelihood, they're choosing the livelihood. Every
I don't agree with that. Just say, just be honest and tell the truth. Because if you're being honest and telling the truth, it's not going to come back to harm you. How can it? It's a good thing. You're not doing anything wrong. Let's continue.
every single time. And here's where it gets darker. In some cases, the coworker won't just stay neutral or quiet. They'll actively help the employer build a case against you. Sometimes by repeating the company's framing almost word for word. Sometimes by reinterpreting events in the company's favor. And sometimes by sharing things you told them in private. Things you said.
Interesting. This really goes deep. I didn't know we could get that part. Like I said, I never had to go through this, but wow, let's continue.
Assuming you were talking to a friend. Conversations you had on a bad day, a frustrated text, a complaint you made over drinks.
You see what those texts do? See what guys, don't be texting talking about your supervisor or any of your coworkers, because as soon as that person get mad with you, they're gonna blast it out. This and this. Watch yourself. Don't type it or say it if you can't repeat it. That's another thing my mother taught me. If you can't repeat something, don't say it at all. She's right. Let's continue.
A vent session that you thought ended in the parking lot. Those can all become evidence in someone else's hands.
Seeing if you're pre-approved will never hurt your credit score. With Capital One pre-approval, you can safely and easily
Sorry,
find out
guys.
which card is
I
right
like to
for
let
you. No dings.
I like to let it play
Stories
out.
like this come up constantly. People who were absolutely certain a coworker would back them up, only to find out that their so-called friend had been talking to leadership the entire time. Things shared in confidence.
You see what so-called friends do behind your back? They go telling on you, talking about you, when they probably done the same thing with you. And it's true. I just never had this issue in the workplace. But nowadays, the way things are and what I'm seeing on social media, you guys have to be actually careful because I'm a soldier in this. This is not my first rodeo, nor my second. I'm embedded in being professional, being just what I need to be for my job or whatever job it is that I'm doing. It's strictly work, not pleasure. And I leave you with this, guys, because anything you say or do is always on the record, whether it be by data, word of mouth, gossiping, spilling tea, etc., etc. Literally, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, please keep this in mind. When your hands touch your work door to enter in, even well within the business setting, office setting, go in and do your job. Be nice. Hi, good morning, Grand Rising. Get this. You look beautiful. Oh, have a nice day. Thank you. Sit down, do your work. Little at lunchtime, do a little bit of chatting here, just about something simple, and then clean up your your lunch area and then take it back to work and continue your day out and go home. Because someone needs this. I've seen a lot of this on social media, guys, with this befriending some people at work and people crossing them up. So I wanted to kind of help someone in case you guys may need this. I don't have to worry about it because I work remotely. But anyways, please do subscribe, share, and have conversations about this within your family, if anything. All in a kind of lifestyle. Until, thank you.